In year 2020, the data shows that 84% of school teachers say toilet-related health issues greatly increase the number of sick days students take, which could also impact their learning. Good day everyone, I am Raymar A. My group and I want to give the best way to prevent the spread of germ. Introducing Perception of Ateneo Senior High School STEM Student on the Utilization of Hand Soap in the Post-Pandemic Era. Meet the researchers. I am Raymar A. with Aldrin Bacsain, Richard Lansbue, Kyle Rafer, and Faye, Gebhel Santos, and Chester Kian Sarate.
These are the research questions that were used to gain more information about the perception of ADLU STEM students about hand washing. Number 1. What are the lived experiences of Ateneo Senior High School students in their perceptions toward using hand soap in the post-pandemic era? Number 2. What are the routinary practices of the respondents towards the utilization of hand soap? Number 3. What policy recommendations can be implemented based on the findings of the present undertaking?
This study uses a phenomenological research design to explore grade 11 students' perception and practices of hand washing. It focuses on their lived experience and routines. By understanding their unique perspectives, the study aims to improve hand hygiene interventions.
For the description of respondents, the respondents of this study are the students from grade 11 STEM, SC1A to SC1H, school year 2022 to school year 2023 of Ateneo University, comprising 30 randomly chosen students, this section in the Belardi building.
Data collection involved conducting online surveys and pen and paper survey. We selected students to gather information on their perceptions and routinary practices related to hand washing. The survey questions focused on the students' perceptions of hand soap usage in the post-pandemic era and their daily routine practices and concerning hand soap.
The data gathering process began by issuing permission letters to each section, which specified the purpose, timing, and participant requirements, and requested signatures from the class moderator, class president, and BDL. Subsequently, researchers collected relevant data through participants' interviews to identify key factors. The interviews also provided an opportunity for participants to offer suggestions and constructive criticism, ensuring the study's relevance.
Once we have achieved the required number of respondents, which is 30, the researchers will gather and analyze the data using the thematic analysis method. Themes and patterns will be identified, which will be the basis of our conclusion.
There are 3 main answers that were gathered from the first question. Why is using hand soap so crucial in the current time of post-pandemic? 9 respondents say that it is for their personal hygiene. 18 respondents say that it is continuation of precaution. And 16 respondents say it is to prevent transmission of diseases.
For question 2, the researchers tallied the number of times of each response. 7 respondents answered sometimes, 12 respondents answered often, 6 respondents answered rarely, 2 respondents answered never or I don't use hand soap, and 3 respondents answered everything. Participants mentioned using alternatives like alcohol or hand sanitizing gel for hand hygiene as they perceive them as a more convenient. Lack of availability of hand soap at school played a crucial role in their decision to not use it regularly. Laziness was also mentioned as a reason for not using hand soap frequently. Some participants choose NA or not applicable.
In the absence of hand soap, many respondents mentioned feeling that their personal hygiene may be at risk, adding that, without hand soaps, restrooms feel unsanitary. Their behavior changes into one of avoiding physical touch with objects in the restroom, and they rely on other hygienic products like hand sanitizer. In relation to this, most of the respondents affirmed that if there was hand soap available, they would use it often. Only 2 definitely said no, and 1 mentioned that usage will depend on the state of the facilities of the restroom.
Many of the respondents highlighted the essential role of hand hygiene in maintaining personal well-being and preventing the spread of disease, as it effectively eliminates germs and bacteria that can compromise our health. A few respondents stressed the significance of hand hygiene in halting transmission of bacteria and viruses to others. By practicing proper hand hygiene, we reduce the risk of diseases spreading among individuals and within the community. Overall, hand washing importance lies in within maintaining personal hand hygiene, preventing the spread of diseases, and eradicating germs and bacteria that threaten our well-being.
Based on the responses, most of the respondents use rubbing alcohol as an alternative when there is no hand soap available.
Hand sanitizers follow this as the second most used alternative and wet wipes is the least. Based on this data, their use of other hygiene products show their initiative when it comes to maintaining proper hygiene. This result can be reflected in the results of Bacsain and Gebhel. In their study, the respondents also take specific measures in response to the COVID-19 virus even after the pandemic.
Recommendations for improving hand washing practices. Provision of hand washing materials. Ensure an adequate supply of hand soaps and functional soap dispensers. Encourage students to bring their own hand soap to school for accessibility. Educational awareness. Use posters, infographics, and reminders to educate students about correct hand washing techniques. Incorporate these resources into the school curriculum to promote awareness and reinforce proper hand washing practices. Infrastructures and facilities. Establish convenient hand washing buildings or facilities to support regular hand washing. Provide suitable spaces dedicated to hand hygiene to facilitate good hand washing practices. According to the graph, 27 out of 30 respondents agree that supplying soap and functional soap dispensers is crucial. The study by Cabeza et al. 2019 found that hand washing is essential for students to protect against viruses, bacteria, and illnesses. This supports the statement that having hand soap in all school bathrooms and hand washing stations is a necessity.
For Chapter 5, Summary. The study researched ADNU-STEM students' grade 11 perception of hand soap usage and effectiveness in bathroom using research questions to gain insight, which are the SOP1, SOP2, SOP3. The study explores ADNU-STEM students' grade 11 experiences and perspectives on hand soap usage in the Belardo building, focusing on the post-pandemic practices. It also reveals the recommendation of grade 11 STEM students and the researchers to promote safety and clean environment.
These are the conclusions that the researchers made from the study. The students see hand soaps as important for fighting bacteria and preventing diseases. Most of them wash with hand soap often, and the rest sometimes, rarely, and never. Students might go for alternatives to hand soap and have other specific reasons as to why they don't use hand soaps. The absence or presence of hand soap affects their choice of whether to use hand soaps regularly, their acts and views on hand washing, and their hygiene practices and health in general. They see hand washing as crucial for their and others' health and safety. They have the initiative to keep good hand hygiene, and there are applicable recommendations for the improvement of hand hygiene in the school.
The recommendations of the researchers are as follows. Number 1, improve the availability of hand soap. Number 2, enhance the education and awareness regarding proper hygiene. Number 3, address alternative hand hygiene products. And number 4, repair the bathrooms where there are broken and or lacking facilities.
That's all. Thank you for listening.